Hey guys, it's me, TheRiddled, and welcome to my first but very eventful series, Forever Minecraft, where I intend on keeping it going forever, hence the name. Currently, it looks like I've skipped a couple of episodes, but don't be afraid. I just wanted to use my existing world of 1 year so that you won't have to go through me just beginning a world. The point of this series is to showcase my different building philosophies and projects. Maybe if you find them inspiring, they can make you build some amazing things yourself. If any of you really want a whole survival playthrough, let me know if you do. And comment the twists you'd like on them. It can be mods or anything. Just a heads up, this episode will get a bit of a tour of some of the things I've already built. So take a good breather or a stretch, and let's get used to my techno babble. So this is it. This is my world. A whole year and a half of ideas, but I'm gonna give you all a tour really quick. So right here is the house. Well, I really like this house a lot. You gotta agree, it's pretty good. The kitchen, obviously. My dogs are all spread out a bit too much. And here is, I hate these villagers so much. My second floor, so it's just a ladder. And here is the bedroom, which is my favorite part, probably, because of how just cozy it is. And I love how the thick border right here is really good. And yes, there's a little bit too much flower pots, but in a world with a bunch of decoration, this is not a lot. A lot of decorations available. And here is the greenhouse of the meadows. Here is where my pink sheep that I found on my first 100 days here, culinary cottons, and I really love the way I made this greenhouse. A little bit too much green particles, but I really like it. And right here is my horse stable, which doesn't have a lot of room for any more of my horses, because I just wanted to collect so many golden horses. I'm probably removing them. Next is this very old farm area, just like erected cylinders, a couple of wheat. It's unreachable to the villagers. It's just there for decoration now. It used to be intended to be functional, but now it's just there for the look of it. Here is my campsite from way back in the beginning, and I just wanted to keep it for a relic. And here is the blacksmith house. There's a little bit of inspiration from familiar image. I usually use this crafting table instead of the one over there, because it's closer to the center of the town. And here's my bamboo farm, another old contraption. But I'm going to make a new one soon. I can't have this one forever. And I'll tell you guys why. And here is the enchanting dome. Made of just a dome of stone, granite, and stone. This is the neighborhood. I didn't give it a name. Full of broken bugs. I don't know what the hell is going on. There's an iron golem stuck on that roof, but you can't tell. And there's some cats that I just decided to leave here. Yeah, because I was going to have cats in a creeper farm, which I'll show you in a bit. And a cylinder area again of farm, but this one is more reachable to the villagers. And it's just there for decoration. This is supposed to be the cartography area. Oh, there are some cartography villagers working here, surprisingly. And you'll never know just how much villagers live here in my base. It is way too crazy. I don't know why there's so many breeding right now. I don't have any more room for them. And I even made a hotel for them, which only has like 4 bed spaces, and it just gave them more of a privilege to keep on having more villagers, and it's making everything so laggy. And here's just this shepherd's house. Marketplace, which is kind of pretty. I really like how symmetrical it is with everything. And then there's the bee farm. And here is a bunch of my bees. I accidentally had a surplus of them, because I just had too many. But I think it's a good idea, because since they have pollen, they'll wait for the next bunch to get out. So all the beehives will be worked on 24/7. But it's completely full. And here is the White House. I wouldn't call it the White House. I just don't have a name for it. There's a couple of emeralds. This is not the emeralds that I actually have. I'm just too lazy to put the rest in there. And lastly, the beacon, which is not much. but it's it's pretty good. I really like the polished look and feel of the Tough. Tough is way better looking than normal bricks, in my opinion. Just tells you this is the center of where I am. And also, the banners are supposed to be copper, but it kind of just looks a little bit too orange, but I try my best. But there's way more out of the area. Way more. And you'll see. So here, it's going to be a little bit under progress, because it looks so finished right now when you go down. But this area is the entrance to the town through this bridge. And here is, if there's anybody hypothetically wanting to visit, I could show them this locker with pretty good armor. And here is the bridge. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, this is a really proud structure that I've made. It only took me about 2 months, but I really enjoyed making it. Like, the whole product is amazing, but I also just liked how experience I've gotten. Like, the experience I have is just amazing. And I hope that inspires you, because I really like how these grindstones look like they're rolling these chains together, like combining them. And keeping everything tight knit, making sure the supports are very strong. I love it. Very much. But that is going to be what we're going to work on today over there. But before that, I'll show you this path. It's just a little bit of a path right here. It's a path that will bring you towards the town from, I can't believe I'm going to say this, the spawn point of my world. So if anybody spawned here, if anybody visited, they would appear right here where there's a little bit more safety. And they can just walk around a little bit, like the view, and then read about the town for a little bit. After that, they'll venture to that bridge all the way over here. And I'm probably going to change this bridge a little bit because I kind of rushed through this bridge. And I forgot to tell you about the chest. Over here. This is where I'm going to have most of my storage. Unfortunately, this is not big enough for everything. And it's so surprising that like, even after having this big room with 2 floors, I still need more room for all my stuff. These copper golems aren't that great at working, so all I do is just store the items where I put them, want to put them very quickly. And if you go down here, this water elevator, I haven't built one in years. This is the second negative floor. And here is very, very, very nice and beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably my most redstone functional build. And I'm proud of it. But I'm not going to say that this is original. Of course not. This was made by a Hermitcraft member, Zuma. And it was on his second episode, I think. And I really like this because so the way it works is put an item in here. Let me see if there's any room for well, string. I'll put the string here, and you see this is where string can be put, and mushrooms too. So I put the string and mushrooms. That goes up these droppers into this chest. The copper golem takes it and goes around the chest. It takes a while, and the items go into the string chest. But the string chest is right here. Obviously, these 3 chests. But it will go there and put the string in that chest. And then the repeaters and comparators in the back will detect the chest being full. And it's not full, but it technically is full because there is some 54 after 3 stacks is enough to be a surplus for the chest to bring the items down into the hopper and into the other hoppers to go into, and the lowest chest possible that's not full. After that, it will just be there for me to collect. But it's very, very slow. You cannot put more than 2 or 1 for that matter because they just get stuck. They just completely they don't really have much intelligence. And here is just the farm, which is an automatic farm, simply just with a bunch of water flowing through, just collect it. But now I think it's time to go into doing the project, which I'm gonna go to sleep first. So if you go here, this is a very, like, just completely deforested area. And I want to make this terraforming project in a way where this hill continues sloping down to the bottom here. After that, I will decorate it with coarse dirt and a bunch of stuff that will look like a sparse jungle of some sorts. And after that, I will be making these amazing, beautiful stone heads like Easter Island, but they will be a surprise. It will be a surprise. For now, next episode I will show them. But I have the concept. But I think it's time for us to start building. It will be very short with the dirt slanting, because it's almost finished. I just wanted to show a little bit of the process of that before it's finished. And we'll cover this up, keep lighting the place up too. But let's do this. Okay, so I actually need to... I have an emergency here. I'm going here to the creeper farm, and I was going to show you guys right now, but unfortunately, it broke down. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to increase the hole here, because there was a bit of a problem with the creeper farm that I haven't even dealt with for a while. So what happens is, the creepers are trying to get to the snow golem. I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard of this. But it tries to go to the snow golem, but mobs don't see trapdoors as blocks that have an edge that are like a gap. It thinks that the trapdoor is like this, but it's not. It's obviously not. So it just thinks that these two are full blocks, so then it goes to the snow golem. But because they're going too close to the snow golem, they are going to get angered by the snowballs, and then as the snowballs also shoot them, they stay back farther, but then it's also going to make them have more time to explode, because it's keeping them in this spot too long. They're not having enough time to move here, so that's going to cause an explosion. I don't know why it's been happening, because it usually doesn't happen at all, but ever since I came back for gunpowder AFKing, it just started breaking down. So I'm going to have to take a break from building the other project and go here. So it's just going to be very quick, and I hope that you try to be patient. But I'll show you I'm pretty sure you know the features though. Alright, finally. It's finished. After so long, guys, it's finally done. And all of this here, these thousands of blocks here, were all made, terraformed here, like, by me. With a happy gas. Nothing but dirt blocks and shulker boxes, and that's it. But unfortunately, it's not completely finished. Yeah, it's only about just below halfway done. But I've built long enough that I feel like this is a good time to end the episode, because I think that this gives you a pretty solid idea of what I wanted this to look like. It did end up becoming a little bit too wide. Like, I should have probably added more of these drop-offs here, because it needed to fit in with this canyon-esque mountain. But I think it still looks pretty natural. It feels like something that you would see in Minecraft without thinking that it's man-made, at least for a little while. But then you just start to see the differences here, and then you'll realize, dang, this looks like a little bit too smooth. But I'm very satisfied with it so far. It's not going to just have grass or anything, like, just that. I do want this to have some stone, some coarse dirt. I want it to feel like a very, I guess I would say, almost sparse jungle-like. I want it to feel like this place has been old for a while, and some things have moved around in this land, which is why I also did it kind of messy too. There are some times where I added this drop-off just to make it feel like something pushed this part of the mountain down, and it'll make the place feel a little bit older. But there will be some like boulders here, and some coarse dirt, a little bit of vines on some like kind of small trees, and a little bit of bushes. Then after that, there's going to be a lot of statues that will represent the things that I find important in this world to have. This is also going to be covered. This is like the biggest project that I've ever had, and it's very, very easily noticeable that it's probably a bit too much for someone to make in 1 month, but there are people who make the whole mountain in just like 3 weeks. I am very proud of this, and I think next episode we're just going to decorate it after building this second half right here. And this part will be a little bit quicker, because I do want to quickly get to the building and the color paletting. I don't know if I should use moss. Let me know if I should use moss, because moss is kind of overrated in some terraforming projects. But I think there's just something about building mountains in Minecraft and how hard it is to pair it with a naturally generating mountain. Just having your own mountain and pairing it with something that has always been there is kind of difficult, and it's always going to be noticeable to most people who have knowledge of the terrain in the game, to notice the differences and where things cut off into natural versus unnatural. So it's I think that's why people usually build mountains themselves away from any type of large, high erosion terrain or low erosion terrain, because it's hard to do that, especially because we don't really completely like Minecraft's way of generating mountains. Like, this looks kind of ugly, just little tiny holes around. Doesn't really look that great. It's not something that we would want, and I think that's why people, unlike me, really don't usually do this. Just making a mountain larger. They like to just make their own big mountain so they can blend in perfectly the terrain. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I do want to go see the creeper farm and show you guys that it does really work. Alright, here. I invested some into the fireworks, but there are some gunpowder here in this chest, and it's working very quickly. Probably kind of quicker than before. And I think it's because, surprisingly, I think it's because of the more creepers around able to spawn here, it's expanding the range and this hole better. So it works now. The whole thing has been solved. But I have like so many projects to do on this world before I hit the bucket, because this is not a world that I just want to have like this entire thing here and that's it. I want this place to feel like a little theme park. That's not a theme park. There's like not many rides, but I kind of want this to feel like a wonderland of what I think. A world where I just make crap. I just make stuff. There's going to be a lot more building in here. So it's just going to be building, 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 building. I'm never even going to be exploring. I mean, I can't guarantee I won't be exploring, because I do like to explore sometimes. I still want to look for a mangrove forest, which will happen. I have to just keep looking. I really love the redwood, the mangrove wood. It's just so hard to find mangrove wood. I have some here, but it's only because I got it from the wandering trader, but I never got a cropping tool from the wandering trader. I think that's it for today. Thank you so much. If this is like my first video, and I spent months making it, and I really wanted it to be as high effort as I could for a first video. Hoping that this is satisfying enough. And I haven't updated to the newest version yet because first of all it's useless, but also because I really wanted to keep the mods a little bit longer so I could use them for building. But I don't really need them right now. All I need to do is just update to a new version and get those mods again, because I think it's already out for every mod. So, see you guys next time. Hopefully this project is finished. See you.